Good afternoon. This is Dan from the House of Broken Dobbs Things, and we're revisiting a project that's been stalled for quite a long time. Some of you remember previous episode. This is a Ammco brake lathe. This is I forget the model number, 6950. That's the tool, and the Ammco brake lathe. I forget. I'll have to bring that up again. But anyway, this is for rotor turning only. And from that, it had a problem, if you remember from a previous episode, where inside the mechanism which drives it was actually sheared off. And then on top of that, because it had been in a dealership, it had kind of given it some rough treatment. And then we had to make a new shifting arm under here. You can see that. And let me get the one that I'm going to talk about. Okay. So inside, this is the shifting arm, the original, that Chirpy's Tinkerings, hi Chirpy, actually took upon himself to do a project for me. And in here, the arm pulls right down here to kick it in and out. All right, and here's the pivot. And this pin rides into a sliding collar right here, so that it engages and disengages. So this was sheared. And inside the power drive mechanism, it was completely hogged out, so I need to rebush it and do all kinds of things to that. So, with that being said, here we are in 2020, Coronacation. We're going into our week of vacation from my work, and we've been spending it primarily in the shop because we can't go anywhere. So, this is Michigan in the US, and we're just getting by. So, let's see what I got done today. Alrighty, she's fired up and running. Pretty smooth. I topped off the crankcase oil. I cleaned the decades worth of goo out of this thing. It used to be grease, but now the grease is dried out, so it's no longer a grease. As you can see, the mechanism there is turning. That is what's going to drive the housing. Inside, there is a variable friction disc wedged in between a spring-loaded collar, and that is allowing it to have variable speed. Right now it's cranked down because we've actually got it pushed in further, so it's decreasing the amount of area on the outside, so changing the gear ratio. So, with this one set up, it's running nice and smooth, no problems. Down here is the engagement mechanism. Let's kick it in. No crunching, no crunching, pretty much nothing. It's moving. Let's see here. Here, I'll give you a visual. So, it's a brake rotor. It's actually quite a good brake rotor, actually, from Ammco. This thing is decades old and it's still ready for service. So if you watch that clock rate, let me change the speed on this a little bit. The further I'm cranking it out, you see the faster it's getting, because we're changing the gear ratio on that disc. Alright. Nice smooth engagement. Yep. And I haven't done anything to the motor or the belts, any of those bearings. I didn't touch any of that. So, re-engage it. There we go. Off to the races. So anyway, I just wanted to share that one with you. And yes, the light works too. So just catching up with it, cleaning out, getting stuff done. I got a lot of projects done this week. But I wanted to share this one with you because it's been sitting installed for quite a while. And at the same time, I wanted to give a shout out to Chirpy for helping me out, because it wouldn't have got anywhere if he hadn't helped me with that casting, because as you might have guessed, this is made of unobtainium. You notice he actually took the pattern. I sent him a piece of garbage. He cleaned it up. The angles are perfect. Everything's great. So other than that, we're going to have to come back. We're going to make a 7/8 by 9 pitch thread to go on here. I'm going to make it out of brass just because. Yeah, it should be steel, but this is not going into professional service anywhere. So I'm going to make that up and get that on there, and then who knows what I'll do. Also need to get a set of carbides for it. By the way, these here were completely seized. There was no getting around that. They were just seized, so I had to completely take that apart. And it's been an interesting project. I've never worked on one in my life, but here we are. All right, thanks for watching. It's going to be a quick one, and we'll bring you back soon. Thanks.